Hey everybody, it's Trisha with Chocolate Musings, and today I'm going to be setting up my 2022 bullet journal yearly pages. These are the pages that I set up outside of my monthlies. But first, I am going to show you my process for unboxing a new notebook. I'm going to start from the beginning so you'll get to see my whole process for starting with a completely new book. Side note, I did forget to do a pen test page for this book, which I normally do. I just was so excited to jump in, I did not include that for this one. The first book of the year will be this lovely A5 dot grid black fabric cover with a gold moon on the front and gold page edges. I love this design and I've purchased it multiple times. When I first get a notebook out of the box, I always flip through the notebook and open most of the signatures in the book. Those are little individual parts that make up the book. It helps me get acquainted with the feel of the pages and make sure there are no defects. But really, I just like to feel the paper and get a bit of excitement for starting a new notebook. I typically go through 2 to 3, maybe sometimes 4 books per year, depending on how ambitious I am and how much I end up journaling. Oh, and I love this little trinket that Archer and Olives puts on their bookmarks. It's really cute. I love their little brand. Flipping through the pages is one of those things that I do when opening a new notebook, and it's like we're getting to know each other. I know it sounds weird, but I'm going to share my art, my plans, my innermost thoughts with this notebook. I feel like I need to trust it before I can start sharing with it. All right, I think we can be friends with this notebook now. I have to admit that making the first mark in a brand new notebook is intimidating. I know so many people have issues with blank notebooks. So if you can't seem to make yourself draw that first line or write that first word, here are 2 tips. Number 1, get a pencil and make a stray mark on a page, then erase it. It's like it breaks the spell of a new notebook. Number 2, write your name on the first page. Creates ownership. Once I write my name in my notebook, I also like to include the start month and year for the notebook. I am amazed at how often I forget to write the year anywhere in my notebooks, and then I go back and I cannot remember which year I used that notebook in. Okay. Now that's done, I'll go through and actually pencil in the names of the pages I want to include. If I don't, I'm bound to make a mistake and put the grid guide in the middle of my index pages if I'm not careful. Yeah, I've done that. I've also forgotten pages in my weeklies. I've forgotten a monthly page. I always go through. In fact, every month I go through and I pencil in what pages I will be using. I call this planning the planner. Since the Archer and Olive notebooks are not numbered with their pages, I'm going to add page numbers to my book. I made these stickers because I hated writing in the page numbers. It's probably quicker to write in the page numbers, but it's a one-time setup in a notebook, and for some reason it's very soothing. And I'm going to set a watch here so that you can see how long it takes me when I speed up the videos. I know that's always helpful for me to see when someone goes through and tells me how long something takes for them. And I was trying to plan for the video as well, so it may take you the same amount, it may take you less time, or it might take you a little bit more, just depending on what you do. The stickers I created actually go up to 366, so you could use them for a daily planner or to track something for a year if you ended up ordering these stickers. I use this handy dandy tool that came with a Cricut kit to place the numbers so I don't get them stuck to my fingers. I've also seen people use tweezers when placing small stickers. I see actually a lot of people when they use stickers use tweezers or something like that. There might be some people who think that it's a waste of time to do that and, just going to move on to a new notebook eventually and, whatever. But I use my setup time with my bullet journal as self-care in addition to a planning time. I also use it as wind down time, so it's very soothing to me. All in all, it took me about 30 minutes to place all of the numbered stickers. I also know that I will be glad that I included the page numbers later on in the book. I like to include index pages. 3 pages is usually plenty, not spreads, but 3 pages. So 1 page, flip it, and then you've got a page facing each other. That's the 3 pages. I've got my watch sitting here so you can see how long it takes me to set up one, to measure and draw out in pencil and then ink it. It takes me about 5 minutes per page. And then I took a little break in between drawing the outline and adding the title and color, but the color and the lettering took about 1.5 minutes. So total, it took me about 7-8 minutes to do this page. When I first started bullet journaling a few years ago, I would log everything in the index, and then I would never use it. Then I switched back to logging nothing. Now I log my collections and start of each month. And if I have a particular page that is important for the month, I will include that. For instance, my journaling pages, I will log those in my index so that I can flip through those easily in the future. I also will include a reverse index, which means the pages that I started in the back, I'll start numbering, or I'll start including in my index from the bottom up on the last page of the index. Next up, I will include a grid layout. Since I use the same notebook grids on a regular basis, I created stickers. They're full sheet stickers, so I don't have to create the grid every time I get a new notebook. I refer to this page regularly, so it is necessary for me to include, but I do not like to recreate it every single time. Here are a couple of previous grid guides I've measured out in previous books. I definitely prefer to use a 2-page layout rather than the overlapping lines for the grid guide. It makes it easier for me to see and know what I need to do. I did try to do clear stickers for the grid guide, but clear stickers have to line up exactly, and it was not for the faint of heart. So I decided to use only white stickers. As long as the grid count is the same, just overlay the stickers to the page and it is done. The dot grid that I have is 27 dots or 26 pages, 13 centimeters per page, not per spread, and 39 dots or 39 spaces, 19 centimeters tall. For the yearly calendar spread, I decided to use 2 spreads, so 4 total pages, and have 3 months per page or 6 months per spread. To create this spread, you start at the dot farthest on the left, measure 4 centimeters or count 8 dots, then leave 1 space, and then repeat until you get to the end of that page. This layout leaves spaces between each set of columns. I love it. It's my go-to spread for weeklies and other various things. I really do love this spread. In this case, the height will vary based on how many days are in each month, and I will ink in the bottom once I have the days numbered. And again, instead of writing the numbers, I'll use my stickers numbered 1 through 31 between each of the set of boxes. And now I will do the second page just like the first one and add the horizontal lines between Saturday and Sunday to separate out the weeks. This notebook will include a welcome page, which actually I haven't even created. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with it. Probably include something with my word of the year, a key page where I will put maybe different color codes and symbols. Index pages, I've got 3 of those. Grid guide, which will cover 2 pages. A future log, which will be in Calendex style, and that will cover 4 pages or 2 spreads. I included a goals page, but I also included an about me or a mission statement, which I'll explain later. A quarterly planning page, which includes goals, a projects page, product ideas, blog post ideas, weekly checklist, which I'm really excited about, and a book log page. After that, I will start my January pages. I do also have some pages in the back of the book and will work forward. Hopefully I will include a pen test page in the future. If not, then I would normally do that in the back of the book. A page called Give Credit Where Credit is Due, my meal ideas page, and 10-minute tasks. The pages in the back I'm not going to show in my setup. I didn't have them set up at the time of the video, but I do plan on doing those in the future. I kind of prepared the pages out of order, so now I'm going to flip back to the page before the index to the key page. I won't show the whole key painting in this video. This is more of a functional planning video, and that was kind of a fun thing that's not required, but I love painting in my journal, so I usually do. But I thought it was very clever to have the key insert look like a 22 for the year 2022. Like I said, I will show the painting in a different video. I don't use a lot of symbols outlined in the original bullet journaling system. I don't like them much, but I do have symbols that I use for the main topics on my blog. So I will include those on my key page so that when I do any blog posts or whatever I'm doing, I can know which category this should fall into. So these are the basic pages that I include, plus the pen test page that I normally include. But I'm going to change it up for this notebook and include other pages that I want to add after the basic ones and before my monthlies start. Since I'm starting a new book at the first of the year, which actually doesn't always happen, I'll include goal setting pages, and I decided to include an about me page with a personal mission statement. I figure if I write the mission statement and the goals don't align with my mission statement, I may need to rethink what I'm doing with my goals if they don't align with my mission statement. I've never included an introduction to myself in my notebook, but why not? It felt like it was a good idea and I've kind of wanted to. The next few pages are kind of landing pages for brainstorming and keeping track of items. I added a quarterly goals page, a projects tracker page. Once I decide on what projects I want to work on, I'll add those in later. Right now, I'm just creating the headers for each of these pages that I will use. Next, I'll add a product ideas page and a blog post ideas page so that I can keep track of all of those different ideas. One of my very favorite things, I love adding a variety of fancy headers. It makes me want to use the page, I have to admit it, and it also helps me find the page that I'm looking for when I'm flipping back through the book. It's more easily identifiable, so that's why I create a kind of a variety of different headers. I may use my same calligraphy font that I always use, but typically the page titles look different and in different colors so that I can find them more easily. The next page is a reading log. And the picture is kind of funny for a reading log, but it's so cute. I was sitting in the doctor's office with my 12-year-old son and I asked him what I should draw for a reading log. He was kind of being silly and he said, well, you should draw a mushroom forest. Expecting kind of a flat mushroom-like Mario type mushroom. So I started sketching and I looked up and I loved the look on his face. He couldn't believe that you could doodle and make it look 3D. I don't know where this kid came from, but he definitely doesn't pay attention to what I draw on a regular basis, because that is how I like to draw things. I'll do the painting in a different video, but here's a little snapshot of what it looks like. The very last page that I set up is a weekly checklist. I don't like to add very many items to my habit tracker when I'm trying to create a new habit. 5 to 10 is my max. I normally do 5 personal and 5 business related habits that I'm trying to form. Sometimes I will do only 1 or 2 of each category, just depending on how I'm feeling or how ambitious I am or what I'm really trying to accomplish. But I have checklists. I have things that need to get done every week. I will use a carryover checklist. I've seen those and I cannot remember what they're called right now, but I've seen them and they're great. I don't like recreating them because they repeat every single week. So this page, this weekly checklist, kind of replaces that. It's the same common tasks that I need to do every single week. I thought this was a really great idea, especially since if you add up the number of squares that you have, you end up with 52 squares. 26 plus 26, 52. One for every week of the year. So I will number these down the side. You have to turn your notebook to the side so that you're viewing it long ways, I guess. And I'll number the sides, and then I will add the start of the week next to the number. And because there's not room to write the tasks that I want to do, I will add a flip out page to the top with the tasks. And then each week I will mark off the tasks for each week. I have it split between my blog and also household chores. So for instance, I need to write and plan social media posts and write for my blog. I'll also need to edit videos and work on products, etc. I did end up kind of doing this page a little bit wonky. I wrote the things the wrong way. It's a concept page and I am really excited to try it out. I need to make sure that I mark it. Maybe that will be a habit that I check off my checklist. That'll be something that I'll track in my habit tracker every month. But I love this concept. For the items that I will do at home, which is on the right when I turn my notebook, I have items like deep clean, shopping, meal planning, laundry put away, vacuum, mop, etc., for specific areas in the home. I am super excited to see how this page works because I really want it to be awesome so that I can tweak it and include it later. I feel like this could be a main staple, just like the grid guide in my notebooks. And if I end up only doing, say, a quarterly notebook, then I wouldn't have to have I wouldn't have to turn it on its side. But for right now, I'm going to try and track each week of the year and see how this goes. After deciding what tasks I wanted to check off each week and highlighting every other line so that I can hopefully keep track of it, this page is now done. And now it is my favorite part, the flip through. I hope this walkthrough of my bullet journal for the start of the year has given you a bit of inspiration for setting up a new book, whether or not you set it up at the beginning of the year or not. And like that, I am ready to start on January 1st. Plus, you get a little sneak peek of my January setup. It is definitely a fun theme, and I hope to see you back so that you can view it with me. Leave me a like and subscribe to my channel. I have a goal to get more content out on my YouTube channel. I love making videos like this and hope that they provide some benefit to you. Bye everybody. See you next time.